Welcome back, YouTube family. It's your boy DONCOOZIE back at you with another hot TikTok reaction video. Y'all don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I drop some new hot content that you definitely don't want to miss. With that said, let's get right to it.
Either show us the aliens or shut up about it. I don't want to see some pixelated video of something that might be a UFO. Show us the aliens. You said you have them. Show them to us.
No, for real though.
Wake up America, before it's too late. They're trying to make you.
Come on now.
I know I ain't crazy, right? But what it did? So this the microwave. This is the thing that holds my knives and forks and all that. But there's a reflection of the light up here in the kitchen. For some reason, man, I just looked at that like, what the hell is this? Like, there's a mouth, mouth, eyes. See, look, right there. That's creepy, bro. What is that? Like, what is that? Man, my eyes, man, I don't know what's going on, bro. I ain't scared of it. Just got chills. Like, what is that, bro? What is this?
What it is, yo? Is it nothing, or is he just capping?
Your character
capping, or is it something? Let me know what's up in the comment section down below.
makes a few remarks throughout the film about having a relationship with other men in the film. So I wanted to ask, how gay is the Roman Empire?
The entire empire, or I actually kissed a man in the film, but they took it. They cut it. I think they got chicken.
I was going to ask because I just heard about the Paul and Pedro forehead kiss that apparently got cut from the movie.
I'm not sure about that one, but I kissed the guy full on the lips, and I guess they weren't ready for that yet. So.
Oh man! Well,
I killed him about 5 minutes later, but
I mean, it's Gladiator.
It's Gladiator.
I ain't kissing no man in the mouth for no type of money, man. That's the definition of selling your soul, doing something that you would not necessarily do, especially for money. I wouldn't even kiss my son in the mouth, man. Come on now. They still got me on that one too.
Have you guys heard about Omar Odavi? This is him on this chair. Scientists are trying to study his blood type and the metal content in his blood, because for whatever reason he attracts sea life. They don't know if it's mercury, because he does have a high mercury count in his blood, but whenever he gets close to the ocean, animals are automatically attracted to him. They don't know if it's the magnetic field, they don't know what it is, but you can see here they were trying to do a control group study where there was another guy that went on the beach in this chair and nothing came, and he sits and all these sharks come, and you can see that there's some stingrays in there. It's quite incredible. I wish that, part of me wishes that I had this ability, but it does come with its downside. He has really poor circulation to his hands and his feet, so he constantly has to have them warmed and have heat pads on them, and Everest is out of the question because they would freeze off right away, but quite cool.
Could he be a descendant of the people of Atlantis? Could be. You never know. Let me know what you think, though, in the comment section. I'm curious.
The important things that were said today are obvious. A few things were mentioned. Lou Elizondo made it very clear that we are in possession of reverse engineer.
Let me be clear. UAP are real. Advanced technologies not made by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe. Furthermore, the U.S. is in possession of UAP technologies, as are some of our adversaries.
So these are things we know, that they are real, and that not only the United States possesses this, but also some of our adversaries. Also, at the same time, remember the biologics thing? You got to add all of the good stuff that was mentioned today. Well, the biologics is the real deal.
Previously testified that there was biologics that were collected. Are you aware of any of that? I am, sir, aware of the reporting that biologics have been recovered.
So, biologics have been recovered. We also heard David Grush say that, but he just came right out and said it, so we know UAPs are real, that foreign adversaries have them as well, biologics are real, but are there documents that would tell us about this, and would there be responses on these documents describing what these things are?
This is a presentation from the UATP task force. This is completely absurd. It's nuts, this level of censorship, of redaction on a document. It shows the redaction of how many reports they've collected, for how many years. 2 of the 3 potential explanations are blacked out.
So yes, foreign adversaries, they also have the technology. We have the technology. We're reverse engineering it. Also, we have the biologics, but where are the documents? Oh, wait a minute. The documents have been collected, but they haven't been declassified. They've just been blacked out because there is a secret government somewhere that doesn't want you to know who they are, what they want. Guess what? We know it's real. We got that. We already knew that. But you know what? Why are they covering it up? Why are we being treated like children? Why can't we know who these beings are? Or if it is a foreign adversary with this technology, which we know that's not what it is. Leave your comments.
To be honest, man, they ain't mentioned too much of nothing really, because a lot of that stuff that they was talking about, we already knew, or we already have talked about, or had some type of, idea about it already. They didn't come out telling us no straight answers. Yes, this, yes, that. You know what I'm saying? They really was just beating around the bush with a lot of the questions, like always.
It actually happened. Oh my God. Aliens are from our oceans, confirmed today in the Oversight Committee hearing, a live stream that was broadcasted all over the world. The 4 witnesses, which included a retired Navy commander, a rear admiral, confirmed to the Oversight Committee of Congress, hey, they are real. We have UAP materials and bioorganic materials, not just us. Every other country behind closed doors is doing a secret advanced arms race trying to reverse engineer all the technology that they found. They said they're from our oceans. We have 4K video evidence of them appearing from the ocean out of Kuwait, out of Africa, the East Coast, the West Coast, Mexico. Every continent on this planet has UAP video evidence, all leaving our oceans. They say it's not human, it is an intelligent, artificial, or bioorganic, but it's some type of intelligence that is eons ahead of us humans, and they've been here longer than us. What the hell is going on?
Man, that reminds me of the movie The Abyss, or the one with the girl from what's the movie with the werewolf, with Edward, and the vampire and the werewolf. Man, I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Oh man, I just had it again. But anyways, it's called Under the Ocean or Underwater. Whenever they went under there to the rigs and stuff, they had some scientific things going on, and they was like at the bottom of the Marianas Trench, and they found those beings, those look like aliens and stuff that they were getting attacked by. Then they found the massive one that looked like the the Sicily or something like that. The big giant creature underwater. I think the movie's called Underwater though. Somebody gonna help me out in the comment section. I already know y'all know what I'm talking about, man. But I just had it at the tip of my tongue before I started talking about it and just forgot it that quick. But it reminds me of those movies for sure. So we kind of been knowing, and they've been telling us in the movies all along.
I think the firmament, pi, and Nikola Tesla's 369 theory are all connected. This video might blow your mind. So I started looking at pi, and you're basically just measuring a circle. I just stared at this image for a few minutes, and then the Bible verse popped into my head about looking over the circle of the earth. The more I looked at what pi actually is, I found out that you can't really create a dome or an arch in architecture without using pi. So then I started to think, Are they measuring the firmament with pi? And then for some reason I kept thinking of Nikola Tesla's 369. So in Kings 7:23 it says, "Then he made the sea," I think this is the waters above, "of cast metal. It was round 10 cubits from brim to brim and 5 cubits high, and a line of 30 cubits measured in circumference." So I started plugging numbers into pi to see if these work. Stick with me, this is all going to pull together and it's crazy. I had ChatGPT run the math on 3.33 repeating instead of the 3.14 number. For a circle with a radius of 10 units, when you replace pi with 3.33, it converts to 66.6. So the biblical value of pi as derived from 1 Kings 7:23 and 2 Chronicles 4:2 appears to be an approximation of 3, but some interpretations suggest it might imply a slightly more precise value, such as 3.3 repeating. So it says the verse doesn't account for the basin's thickness. If the measurement of 10 cubits refers to the outer diameter and the circumference of 30 cubits refers to the inner circumference, the true ratio would increase slightly. And here it just breaks down the math. Keep in mind, this is the quantum computing model, and look at what they call the particles. Qubits, just like in the Bible. And we can energy harvest with piezoelectric, pi. And the hemisphere would come out to 999. Keep in mind, this is what a hemisphere actually is. So then I asked it to create an image of a geodesic dome over a flat earth model utilizing 3.33 repeating as pi. Guys, my mind is shook. It has the sacred hexagons, and hexagons are the most powerful energy producers. And it even put in a hexagon grid completely on its own. And it looks like it took an ancient astrology map and applied it to the bottom. It looks just like this, and this perfectly explains why Polaris is in the middle and the rest of the stars rotate and how we get our astrology. Not to mention that this looks exactly like this, and this looks exactly like this. And this is an image that ChatGPT created when I asked it to make a 369-degree circle. How weird is it that it even has the circles on the outsides just like this one does? So then I asked, how might 3, 6, and 9 be relevant in this model? And it says 3 as the central point from which all else radiates. 6 could represent intermediate points or radial lines dividing the Earth into sections similar to a hexagonal layout. 9 could symbolize the outer edge or boundary often associated with the ice wall, making the completion of the structure. Which made me think of the black hole sun model that states that all of creation comes from the North Star and the black hole sun like meeting at the North Pole and then projecting all of reality outwards. So on this model, I think the North Pole would be 3, the ice wall would be 9 because that's completion, and then where we live is 6, where creation and completion meet halfway in the middle. 3, 6, 9. So a lot of us know about the ley lines. Ley lines are basically just energy grid lines that people theorize connect us to free energy. Almost all important structures like the Statue of Liberty, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the pyramids, they all fall on like vertices of the ley lines. I think that the energy coming out of the black hole sun is meeting at the vertices on the 369 geodesic dome. I sound nuts, but whatever. And I think that this is somehow creating the ley lines. Remember, Tesla's whole thing was free energy and harnessing electric. I truly do believe that this is the great mystery around 369 and that it's really just the firmament, and that the pi they give us is not true pi. So then I started talking to ChatGPT about it again. It says, some flat earth theories propose that the firmament has properties that refract or distort light. If the firmament were a geodesic dome centered on the North Pole, the highest point of the dome could potentially create unique effects on the light and visibility. At the North Pole, light might behave differently as it interacts with this apex, possibly creating phenomena like the aurora borealis or other atmospheric effects in this region. This could be explained by theories that suggest the dome has refractive or reflective properties that affect how we perceive light and celestial objects. In this model, the geodesic dome might influence air currents and weather patterns, particularly if the dome is seen as a barrier containing Earth's atmosphere. With the North Pole as the dome's center, circular or spiraling weather patterns might radiate outward, contributing to the concept of the polar vortex or other weather phenomena that start from the poles and move outward. This also validates climate zones, and this scripture blew my mind when I realized this. So this is when he comes back for his bride. It says, the voice of my beloved, behold he comes, leaping over the mountains, bounding over the hills. My beloved is like a gazelle or a young stag. There he stands behind our wall, gazing through the windows, looking through the lattice. Do you guys know what it's called when you weave pie crust together on top like this? a lattice. Pi, it's measuring the firmament. This is a lattice, this is a lattice. They're both pi, except one's a pastry. I'm sorry, I don't know if that's coincidental. I don't think it is. I think God is like hilarious. The first person to accurately estimate pi was literally named Archimedes. Arc. They're telling us. I don't believe most of these people in history were real. And if they were, there was like fake stuff about them. And think of the word piety. It means religious or holy. Pi. They're saying that the person operates in a way of like being beyond the firmament. Like they're godly. They're complete. Fibonacci spiral. SPI. Spiral. Pi is in there. Piano starts with pi. The piano has 88 keys. There were 88 books in the original Bible. There's 88 constellations divided into 7 octaves. 7 is God's number, and cycles of 12 keys. In the book of Enoch, there's 12 stargates that the sun and moon come and go from. Pine cone. The occult worships the pine cone. The pine cone has 369 in it. Pilot. They are flying across the skies next to the firmament. Epiphany. There's PI in there. That's the revelation of Christ. Pineal gland, which is shaped like a pine cone. It has 369 built into it. Pioneer. Pioneer. Creating something. You're pioneering it. Let me know what you guys think, or if you have anything to add to this. I would love to hear it, because I'm so interested in this topic, and I'm like mind blown at the images that it created and like the pieces I was able to connect. As always, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm completely crazy. Don't listen to a word I say.
Nikola Tesla already told us that 369 are some of the keys to unlocking the universe. So how could we forget that? And there are very important numbers, period, all the way around the world, especially with sacred geometry.
So this morning, I got out eggs to make for my kids. And first, let me take you to the batch I cooked prior. Alright, do you notice this? It was green. Never seen eggs that have this green tint to it. And at first I thought it was my eyes, so I added more eggs and they came out clear. So then I was thinking, no, something's wrong with the coloring. Maybe the eggs are no good. Maybe that's what's wrong with it. Look at this. I put the eggs directly in without any butter. This is a ceramic pan. And hear this. Does that sound like plastic to you? Look. Guys, what are we eating? I usually get my eggs right from a farmer. These are from Kroger's. I don't know what to tell you, but we aren't eating these.
Yeah, they definitely look fake.
Honestly, what is the point of cooking salmon? I already took some bites of it because I was hungry, but I just don't see a point. It's delicious. Why would you cook salmon?
Discuss what they say, man. People do anything for clout these days. If he don't know about eating that raw salmon, he about to know. Because if it's not flash frozen within for 24 to 48 hours, man, you finna be sick as a dog when the worms get to playing with your insides, man. Because they definitely infested with worms. He should know better though, and he should have did his research before doing some foolish stuff like that.
Quite a few people have been talking about this recently, but many of us may have been experimented on at a young age without ever knowing. This was around the early 2000s, where many people specifically remember being a part of a program called GATE, which stands for Gifted and Talented Education. And according to people who were a part of this program, they were separated from their main class, taken to a windowless or dim lit room, and made to do different tasks like solving puzzles and hearing different frequencies through headphones. Now, there's a couple reasons why people are suspicious of this program in the first place. For starters, although the class was meant to be for students who were above average academically, most of the people who were actually in the program recall only having average grades compared to some of their peers who were not involved in the program. On top of that, while much of the curriculum was just normal puzzles, many people recall being asked to do seemingly impossible tasks like guessing numbers, shapes, or objects that were covered up or just out of view. This led to a lot of speculation about the classes, with many people believing that the program was created by a government agency in order to find children with supernatural-like abilities. Some people went even further, stating that they may have been looking for people with supernatural abilities in order to shut them down to prevent future threats, or that they were trying to recruit them, do more tests on them, and see how they can use that power for themselves.
Are you serious, man? How many of you remember getting taken out of class, man, especially like in elementary, from elementary probably to intermediate school or middle school, to do these tests and go to these classes, these, you know, certain classrooms to do these certain tests? Me personally, I remember this like it was yesterday. You had the headphones on and they have the beeps in each ear, and it, you know, certain frequencies, and they ask you if you could hear it, and they got you looking at certain stuff, and they got you doing, like you say, certain puzzles. And man, hey, I didn't know that's what that was for. I'm thinking, you know, they told us this was for, like, you know, I'm thinking this because I was, you know, thinking they was like for slow kids or something. You know, I wasn't slow, but I'm just saying, like, but they did tell you this for talented individuals. Like, this is for kids who are like, I guess they would say above average or extraordinary. You know, you know, we was kids, we wasn't really understanding it totally at that time, but like it's starting to make a lot of sense, because I was one of those kids that at a time I didn't do homework, but I would pass all my tests. So, you know, I mean, make it make sense.
Y'all are not gonna believe what I just found out about. Thanks to this comment, I went into the rabbit hole of the mega ocean. When I tell you guys, it is so clear at this point that space is at the bottom of the ocean. Like, you know what? Let's just get into it. Pause. TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. Alright, so let me give you the tea. Apparently, in 2014, researchers found a bunch of water 430 miles below the Earth's surface. Y'all want to know how much water they found? 3 times the amount of water that is on Earth. The Earth is 71% water, y'all. 71%. So just imagine how much water that is. They also said the water is not a liquid, solid, or gas. It takes a fourth form that is unexplainable. That sounds a little fishy. If you've been watching my channel, you know that we have open minds here. We talk all about the things unknown, including things like space actually being under the water because of the firmament that God placed above us, which basically is like a dome, and the fact that space may not really exist as we know it. I truly believe that space is at the bottom of the ocean. I mean, it's kind of funny that NASA originally was exploring the ocean, but then switched to space exploration out of nowhere. And it also explains why so much of the ocean is undiscovered and completely unreachable by humans, because aliens are demons and we were never meant to go that low. Guys, you cannot convince me otherwise. And now scientists are telling us that there is a huge body of water under our already big body of water that's on the Earth. The math is just not mathing. If we don't know what the heck is in our oceans here on the Earth's surface, I don't even want to know what could possibly be in a mega ocean. Guys, I'm really starting to think that the megalodon, the kraken, all of these things are light work compared to what's really roaming these waters. Because what? And you're gonna have to open your mind a little for what I'm about to say next. You know how we've been talking about the Leviathan, the colossal sea dragon that's said to live in the ocean? A lot of people in my comments are like, okay, well, if it's that big, where could it possibly hide? Even if it's at the bottom of the ocean where we can't explore, there has to be some kind of sign that it's there. I've told you guys about the US detonating 40-ton bombs randomly after the anomaly popped up. Told you guys about the water heating up and how the Bible describes the Leviathan as being able to do just that. I've told you guys about the sea life becoming aggressive and seeming like it's running away from something. But if that's not enough, what if they actually aren't telling us the truth? The water under the water is actually liquid, and that's where the Leviathan is hiding. I don't know. It could be a reach. It sounds like a reach, right? But y'all know that we yap on this channel, so let's talk about it. As always, make sure you like and follow and comment down below what you think.
Man, I've been saying this for a while, man. It's not up there that you got to worry about. It's down yonder, right here with us. That's what I say. They found something under that ocean that made them want to shoot up off of here, off this flat plane. You feel what I'm saying, man? what was it? They found out that under the ocean, underwater was the real outer space where the aliens lay. Shoot, man, it ain't no game, it ain't no joke, man. There's been multiple stories and articles out there that were saying that these craft were coming from underwater, and these craft would go back underwater, and they would move underwater like they was moving in the sky. It's not a joke, man. And people will find, what was that lake name? I want to say Lake Titicaca or something like that. I may be wrong, but don't phrase me, don't quote me. Now, if I'm wrong, y'all correct me in the comment section. I can handle that. But they were under the water and they found some aliens with some type of suits on or something like that. Came out of nowhere on these people, these divers that were diving under the water, and it scared the living hell out of them. And they've been telling the story for a while now, and people still don't believe it. But man, hey, like I say, it's plenty of evidence out here that's what's going on, and that's, you know, pretty much true. But like I always say, man, question everything. Don't fall for the boo-boo, man. How them people thinking, how them people telling you, how you thinking that we've been to the moon and that we could go out of space and all that stuff, man. We could go a certain distance up off, you know, at the app, you know, up there, but you know, can't really get all the way out our atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? We cannot go past a certain, you know, we can only go so far before we hit that firmament, man. They're not going to no planets and stuff. They're not going to Mars and all that stuff, man. You can't fall for the boo-boo, man. Like I always say, a lack of perception breeds deception. You got to question everything. Don't fall for the boo-boo, man. For real, for real. Not even trying to be funny.
2.5% of every known nationality, in all of them combined, if you just put everybody in a melting pot, 2.5% of those people have DNA that they have no clue where those people came from. Take those people, set them aside, okay? Now you've got, you know, the 15% of the Rh negative people, okay? Some of those are those people that they can't find the DNA, they have nowhere idea where it come from. You take those people, throw them over there with the people that they have no idea where the DNA's come from. And then you got the people in Basque, and they're trying to take their DNA and locate where they originated from, because they're trying their hardest to find out where this Rh negative come from. They can't, because it all, they find that all that the DNA they've collected all comes back to Northern Europe. They said there was no Rh negative. Rh negative did not originate from the Middle East. The Rh negative did not originate from anywhere else but Northern Europe. Just to give you an idea, the DNA that they found of where Rh negative originated from, okay? Not where it came from and where it was injected from, but where it started, where it originally started, okay? The people it was first injected into, or hybrids or whatever. Northern Europe, the countries that are in Northern Europe are United Kingdom, Finland, Norway, Lithuania, Iceland, Estonia, Latvia, Faroe Islands, Ireland, and the Isle of Man. Okay. So basically, I went through documentaries, I read stuff online, I talked to some people that I know in the medical field, since I know a lot of people in the medical field, and they're into this too. But Ireland is where the Tuatha De Danann originated. They call it a folklore and all that stuff. That's not folklore. That's not folklore. Okay? You know, a lot of people go, those are fairy tales and all that stuff. Yeah, you're the people that I'm not talking to you, okay? I'm talking to the ones who really, they know this is what's going on. The entities that are out here. The Tuatha De Danann were called the Shining Ones, okay? And one of their weapons, one of the things they carried around with them was a flaming sword of fire. The virtues, the angels that are called the virtues, because there's 9 celestial things of angels, okay? The virtues are called the Shining Ones also. They're also called the Shining Ones. That's their other name. That's not a coincidence. The Tuatha Dea Danann were considered mortal but immortal. They were like demigods. And they had powers and abilities. Sounds like an angel to me. Now, people, and they looked like humans and everything, but they had red hair, and they were very tall, and they had blue eyes or green eyes. And they didn't know, they've never been able to decide where the green eyes come from, but most of the green eyes are from Ireland and Northern Europe. Most green-eyed people are in Northern Europe. These are not coincidences, you guys. Now, the virtues being called the Shining Ones, how many people have been abducted, experiments done on them and everything by things they say came out of the spaceship wearing shiny, or they glowed, or they just looked glistening? Connect the dots, people. Just connect the dots. They probably, I'm telling you, that they were doing, there's experiments, the abductions and stuff, there's too many of them to deny the fact that this is in fact going on. I would highly suspect, and this is what some of the scientists have told, some people have talked to me, it's stated in some of the History Channel's documentaries and stuff, that these entities injected their DNA somewhere in our colonization of our country. You know, of colonization of here or over in Europe. They colonized or put their DNA in, which created the green eyes, which created the Rh negative factor, and also that DNA mingled with the original DNA. When a scientist does tests, they're going to come up with DNA that doesn't match up. They're going to come up with things that go, wait a minute, what's this? That was the 2.5% of the population of the people that they were testing, that they didn't know where the heck their DNA came from. So, and they are clearly saying, this is where we think these people come from. They have straight out come out that these people, their DNA, they did not originate on this planet. Their ancestry, their DNA, their makeup of what's in them came from off this planet. And now, and they know that for a fact. And they're trying to go find where these things are. They know they're out there. They've seen them. They've interacted with them. They know that these entities live somewhere, or they're inhabiting something, and they're trying to find out where they are. It's like, we can't leave well enough alone. You know how researchers are and travelers and explorers, they want to find out where these people, they want to find out. We are naturally curious and naturally explorative human beings. So if you are Rh negative, they have come to the conclusion clearly you do not come from this, your DNA, your heritage, your ancestry does not come from this planet. If you have, and here's the thing, I always thought it was just these people. It's not. It could be anybody, and that explains the whole the non-stop wanting blood, drawing blood here, blood there. They need your blood testing, DNA. The 23 Ancestor 23, or whatever them companies that want your DNA. They're trying to find the rest of the 2.5 population, or whoever belongs in that group, that their DNA is not who. They're trying to figure it out. That could be any of you. It doesn't matter. It's just there's anomalies in this group of people. There's the green eyes that they can't figure out. The Rh negative they can't figure out, and that lost DNA that's comes from who knows where. But you can have brown eyes. You can have any color of eyes and be in this group. You can have any blood type and be in this group. That's another thing I was reading. I was learning. I was told you can have any of those blood types and any color of eyes or anything, and still be in this group of people that did not originate from here. And I have got to tell you, another thing they told me is that these people have special abilities. These are the clairvoyants. These are the people that have telepathy, dreams that come true, can see things that other people can't see. I mean, I'm talking abilities that just don't make any sense. And if you think everybody has those, they don't. I have met so many people who have never seen a ghost, never seen an entity before, never interacted with demonic stuff, never had any supernatural or paranormal experience in their life. But look how many people have. Those are the ones. Because if you go, let's say if we have 2.5, if 2.5 of the population, which I think is a little bit higher because they haven't tested everybody, you know, let's say 5% of the population. Let's say 5% of the population is in this group that has DNA that they don't know where it came from, regardless of your eye color or blood type. And there's how many people on this planet? There are 8,186,000,000 people on this planet. Take 5% of that. That's roughly, so if you take 5% of 8,186,000,000 people, I'm rounding, okay? And you do the math, that's like 410 approximately. That's like 409 million people have DNA that does not belong on this. That did not come from anywhere. They can't figure it out. And you have these abilities. It's a lot of people. And look how many people have. You talk to people. Look at all the stuff, stories about people seeing things, this, that, and the other. It's because they've got supernatural blood in them, supernatural DNA in them, and the government knows it. The government knows it. They know it right up. I mean, it totally explains the blood banks, the donation centers, all the stuff that's been going on, and things I know about that. You see all the stuff I was doing on that talk. I was going on that and stuff, and I got in so much trouble. I had every one of my videos taken off. I had my videos on YouTube taken off and told I was too controversial. That's not, you know what? I got more. I got a lot more.
I tell you one thing, man, we may not know, you know, but those so-called elites know what that gene is or where the gene comes from, you know, who put it there and all that, man. Everybody on this planet is not all human or all mankind, you know what I'm saying? And to be honest, those are two different species, mankind and human beings. Like, it's a big difference, man, and it goes by their genes, you know what I mean, the blood types. It's a lot going on out here, but hopefully, you know, here soon we find out what's really going on and who we really are, because it seems like a lot is being disclosed, and you know, a lot is being, you know what I'm saying, revealed, and like they say, what happens in the dark comes to light. So let's just all pray that we, you know what I'm saying, let's just pray for some understanding and some guidance, so we will figure out what's really going on and who we really are. You know what I mean? And that's the main part. You know, I'm getting tired of this. You know, a lot of us getting tired of playing the guessing game. And right now, I want to take the time to shout out all the TikTok creators who make this awesome content. You know, so we as conspiracy TikTok reactors could have these videos to react to, man, because we couldn't do it without them, man. They the real MVPs, just like y'all out the supporters and the subscribers watching and stuff, man. We wouldn't even have no channel if it wasn't for y'all. You know, we wouldn't have no type of success if it wasn't for y'all. So I want to say, you know, thank you to y'all too. And one more thing, man, if you want to go viral, you want to learn how to go viral on YouTube and the other sites, mainly YouTube, go check out my course in the video description. You click on that link, you know, check it out. You know, you're gonna have to, it's not free, you're gonna have to buy it. You know, that's only if you want to. You want to support me, you want to support the channel a little bit more in another way, you go ahead and, you know, buy that old course, check it out, let me know what you think. You know, I promise you that it won't be a waste of your money, and it won't be a waste of your time. And that is, if you want to learn how to do YouTube and go viral and make videos, just let's get it.
Responds with, "We're not going anywhere." And he says, "What are you talking about?" And he says, "Look." And he looked up ahead of him. He says there was a big raptor type bird standing in the middle of the pathway. Said it was standing about 3.5 feet tall. He says the odd thing about it is that it had feathers sticking up off the top of his head that was like a horned owl. Well, shoot the damn thing. He says, I just put 2 slugs into him. He says, give me that gun. Takes the gun away from him, puts 6 rounds into that bird, and it doesn't move. So he says, well, let's just go around it. So they tried going around to the right, and the bird hops from one rock to another and blocks their way. So he tried to go to the left, same thing. Nephew grabs a stick and goes up and pokes the bird with it, and the bird reaches up with one of its talons, tears the stick out of his hand, throws it off to the side. I know this sounds pretty incredible. I still struggle with it a little bit. While they were up there, they heard a noise that he described as a table saw binding up on wood. And of course, the first thing I think of is a cat call, but who knows? The story that they were following up on, there was a guy who, ex-military, who apparently he was looking for a cave, and he ended up at this odd feature. He found a cave. The only way he could get into it was to descend from above with the rope, threw the rope over the edge, climbed down, swung back and forth until he got into this cave. While he was in that cave, he found a bone that looked to be human, so he grabbed it. He never would elaborate on what was in the cave. He just said there's some very strange things in there. He ended up taking that bone to an anthropologist, I believe it was, and they found a musket ball in the bone. He says when he jumped out of the cave to grab the rope, he said something strange happened. He said the rope just went as stiff as a pipe. Didn't describe it much more than that, other than he climbed out. And while he was there, and I don't know if it was before he went to the cave or after, but when he was going into the entrance of this odd feature, he said he noticed up on the left side deer heads decomposed at different periods of times that had been thrown up on the ledges. He mentioned hearing the same sound that was heard by the previous individual. Described it very similar. While he was there, something started throwing rocks at him. At first he thought the rocks were just kind of rolling down off the hill for whatever reason, but after having several of these rocks come flying out of the bushes at him, at one point while he was in there, he saw footprints that he believed might belong to a creature that he didn't even believe in, Bigfoot. But in the end of his story, he said, he says, I've been to Afghanistan. I was there in Desert Storm. And he says, and those places didn't scare me. He says, this place scared the hell out of me. I don't want to go back.
Man, I believe that, man. You better stay out them caves, man. You never know what type of prehistoric creatures that are still living around here in these caves and under the water and basically desolate areas, places that have not been roamed or searched or, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically places that people haven't been in a long time, no type of activity. But like I say, man, I believe it. But with that said, that's the end of the video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll catch y'all in the next video. It's your boy Koozie. I'm out. Holla.